Live from Yellow River Tap and Eatery, it's Max 98.3 FM for the season preview show as we start our 2026-2027 sports broadcast season here on WYMR. Mitch Columbi, sports director, along with, we all know you, it's Rusty Nixon. Rusty, so glad we were able to come together again this year. We did this last year. I know that the season preview show with the late, great Tony the Boss Ross used to be at the Reese Theater. Last year, we've kind of switched it up and brought it to the Yellow River Tap and Eatery. Shout out to Tim Harmon. It's a little different, a little more of a roundtable talk with all of our area football head coaches. We get a chance to eat some pizza and just have a good chat with all the guys. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. And it's one of those moments you get to have a low-key moment with most of the time we're going to be seeing these guys. It's going to be after a little bit of a hard-fought contest. So, and once again, it's just a chance to relax and look at things in a calmer light than normal.
Well, and one thing I wanted to bring up, definitely thinking of our good friend Joe McKee today.
Yep, exactly.
You're going to be missing him on Friday. I know he's dealing with some things on his end, but he's good. He's going to be okay, and I know we miss him tonight. He's such a great guy.
I told him that he went a long way to get out of being here tonight,
yeah, right.
To have some emergency surgery, so, yeah.
But he has fun with working with you.
Yeah, he does, and he loves it. The thing about Joe, the reason people like Joe is he knows what he's doing. He played, he coached, he's been around it, but, he just loves the game.
Yeah.
And, he's that guy that fits exactly my idea of what we should sound like is a couple of guys sitting around the basement watching the game on TV with a beer.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. I want people to feel like, it's just this comfortable couple of old guys watching the game, talking about it, and he fits that perfectly, but he's the one thing that he's probably mad at me already. He's the one thing in this group that actually brings some intelligence into it. I know my brother probably listening now. He's not going to listen to Friday night because Joe's not going to be on because that's his favorite. But, yeah.
Well, definitely want to give a shout-out to Joe
Absolutely.
McKee. On Friday nights here on KVB, you can flip back and forth between Max 98.3 FM and our other station, WKVI, where myself, I broadcast games over in the Stark County and Pulaski County area, dipping into LaPorte. But on Friday nights, you can flip back and forth between Rusty and myself. We cover upwards of 15 schools between these two stations. It's really amazing. It's been an honor to work with Rusty. I mean, you do such an amazing job. You have for so long, longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to date you.
Yeah, that's the only credential I have is I've been at it longer than other people.
But
so
but you're well known in the area. Everyone knows Rusty, and it's just been an honor to work alongside you. It was tough when we lost Tony. We've talked about that before, but as I've told you personally, we're very lucky to have you, because if we had to bring someone new here in the area, it would be hard to get the traction, because it's easy when you walk into businesses and say, oh yeah, Rusty Nixon, oh yeah, Rusty, oh yeah, Rusty. So it's been helpful for me.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that say, why didn't you get somebody new?
No.
Tired of that old guy.
Well, and we've seen several coaches come in already. Andy Dorrel, Culver Military Football's here, and we also see the head coach of Plymouth's here hanging out with us. We appreciate them as always. But we're going to go down the list of the games you're going to do this season here, and I mean, you're going to be covering upwards of your schools here. Week 1, you're going to see LaVille and Triton. But one thing I wanted to ask you first, I got a little ahead of myself. What's a storyline out of all the schools you cover over here, Rusty, that you're looking forward to? What's a storyline here in the football season?
Well, I got to believe all the new coaches. I mean, we've got, 3 of them? LaVille, Matt Thacker will be in his first year there. Sauceman at Glenn is a new head coach. Brent Corbett, even though I've known him since he was 8 years old, is a new coach here. So, it's a lot of new ideas and new coaches in the county this year. That's a big one. But, I'm just kind of curious. I think Bremen's going to be a sleeper. I feel like they've got enough guys back.
Coach Bogunia, he's good.
He's been around a while. He knows what he's doing. I feel like they've got enough going on that, they could have a heck of a run and have a really nice year. But, I think it's going to be a year of adjustment, and how these coaches adjust to their new situations is going to be big.
Well, and something that we do as well on WKVI, just like you, every Saturday morning, the Saturday Morning Coaches Show on Max 98.3 FM, where you dive in a little deeper. I always say Friday night's only half the story. What we're doing here on Saturday morning is following up the next day with these head coaches to see how they feel. A lot of coaches over at WKVI say it's like a therapeutic session to get it out of their system if it's a tough loss. Do you get the same vibe? Sometimes.
Kinda. I don't know if it's that, but yeah, I understand that. The other thing we do over here at Max is Thursday night. We'll preview every county matchup. We talk to all the coaches every week, and we'll preview every game for Friday night. That's on Thursday nights at 7.
I remember you installed that last year, which is huge.
We do Thursday nights at 7. We call it Thursday Night Lights, and we will preview every game in the county with the local coaches. Basically just kind of a scouting report kind of thing, and talk to them about their matchups on Friday.
So before and after you get to talk to them.
I love football. I can
tell.
I'd add 2 or 3 more shows
if you
I could. Yeah, we'd do a talk show.
But the thing is they love to talk to you.
Yeah. Well, and
that's hard to find.
But let's get to this. Every one of them, this is the thing that I find that's universal. I don't know about over in Stark County, but in Marshall County, football coaches, basketball coaches in general. My dad coached here for a number of years. I'll be honest with you, he hated having to do a show like this. But he's like, no, I will because my kids deserve that.
Right.
And that's the attitude I get with every coach I ever deal with over here. I do this because my kids deserve this. They deserve me talking. They pay the price. They're out here listening to me be a jerk to them all day long, every day. They deserve to have some attention and have us come on and praise them, and that's why they all do it. And I that makes it real easy for me because that's kind of why I'm here.
Well, and I've heard your interviews with Coach Dorrel in the past as well, where he says, a lot of his athletes there at Culver Academy, their parents are not in the listen, so they listen online, the stream, and they want to hear what their coach is talking about their kid. They want to hear their kid's name. So you're exactly right. It's not really about the coach. It's about the coaches getting on, and some coaches over there, they tell me that's my way of talking to the parents so that I don't have to do a one-on-one every night with Johnny's son or Johnny's father or mother.
Funny thing about that is, sometimes it's like, Johnny's father or mother probably feel like he yells at him all the time. Then he goes on Saturday morning and says, he's the best player I've ever coached. So, that's the one thing you learn about coaches is if they don't get on you, it's because they don't think you can do it. If they're on you, it's because they know you can do better. It's like my old man used to say, I'm hard on people because nobody was ever hard on me. And I am not going to let a kid get out of my program without getting everything he could get out of it. When I see he's got that ability, I want him to realize that. And that's why ladies and gentlemen, that's why coaches get on your children, because they want them to want them to succeed. They'd be crazy if they didn't.
Exactly. So we just really appreciate the camaraderie. KVB as a whole between WKVI and Max 98.3 FM has really gotten very good in this community. The camaraderie we have with these schools, the businesses, the coaches, they trust us and they know where to go when they need to get their voice out. But I want to go down the list of where you're going to be. Week 1, LaVille at Triton. That's going to be a great game. 2 of your area teams. Lakeland at Plymouth, Week 2. Culver Community at Triton, Week 3. 2 of your area teams. LaVille at Bremen, Week 4. That's kind of a rivalry battle usually.
That is a rivalry battle, yeah.
And then you're going to see one of my teams over on WKVI, North Judson St. Pierre, the Jays at Culver Community.
Are they just reloading again this year?
From what we heard from Coach Brett Lambert last night, he goes, I think we're going to turn some heads this year.
Yeah, they've been reloading for 3 years. That's just all they do every year.
Bremen at John Glenn the following week. That should be a good matchup. It always is.
That's another rivalry game.
John Glenn at LaVille the following week. Game. Rensselaer Central at Culver Academies. It's fun to go over to Culver Academies, isn't it?
On a Saturday. That's the thing.
That's a Saturday
why
morning.
I wanted to add this game because it's a Saturday game. There there is nothing like the atmosphere at CMA
You're gonna be
on
tired.
a Saturday game. No, I won't.
You're just like Tony.
I'll have a football game to watch. I was excited. I get an extra game.
You'll
that
do
week.
the Friday night game, you do the Saturday morning show, and then you're booking it over to Oliver
to
Field.
Saturday.
That is so cool. And then Wawasee at Plymouth October 9th, and then the final game of the regular season, Culver Academies at John Glenn. Going down the list, I wanted to go over this with you to see what your thoughts are. You know, Plymouth, it's an interesting story when you talk about the Rockies. It's been a tough few years. I think that's fair to say. They come in the Brent Corbett era. I know he's the interim head coach, but I remember interviewing him over 10 years ago as a sideline reporter for Tony Ross on Max 98.3 as an assistant head coach at halftime. He's a great guy. I kind of like this situation for him, an opportunity to step up and be the head coach.
Familiarity with the kids. They know him. It was a no-brainer when they were, I'm sure, talking about that because you had a coach leave mid-preseason. And, you know, the familiarity with Brad is going to be what makes that work because you're not going to go out and find anybody who's going to have that rapport. And once again, you know, it all comes down, every coach I've ever talked to, it's the relationship with your players.
Sure.
It's the ability to communicate with them. And, you know, he's had these guys all the way through, all the way up. So, you know, you're talking about a guy who's familiar with the program. That's going to just – if there could be a seamless transition, that's the best way to have achieved it.
We'll check out. Good luck to the Rockies. You know, I always want the Rockies to do well. I moved to Plymouth, couldn't find a home over in the Stark County area, so I live north side of Plymouth. I'm always rooting for the Rockies, and then the Pilgrims in the winter and the spring, of course. So good luck to Plymouth this year. We switch over to look at Culver Academies. Andy Dorrel, 29th season as a head coach. Man, he never disappoints, does he?
No, and, you know, that's the thing I was talking about. I really wish my kids had a chance to play for him. He's one of the greatest guys I've ever been around. And, you know, much more than just a football coach. He's a guy who's interested in the entire product, the entire person. And the things he brings to the table are designed to make great men as well as great football players. And, you know, I can't imagine anybody not wanting their kid to play for him. Yeah,
well, and we talked about how you'll be covering North Judson one week, one of my schools. I'll be covering Culver Academy's Week 3 as they host Knox. I'll get to do a game over there too. I'm excited. Pressbox fancy.
Two coaches with 30 years of experience, too. That's – Russ has got like 50.
Russ started his 50th year. Russ Radke.
I was going to say, he kind of invented football, didn't he? I mean,
Yeah, right. Yeah, leather helmets.
Back when he started, it was just a rock and an open, field near the volcano, I think, or whatever.
Yeah. They actually used a rock. We look at the other team in Culver, the Culver Cavaliers under Austin Foust. Last year didn't probably go the way he wanted it to. We had a chance to talk last night. They went 3-7, but this is his 4th year at Culver, 9th overall. I know he was at John Glenn for some time. What's your thoughts on the Cavs?
I think he's got a lot of young players that are going to surprise a lot of people. I think for the next couple of years, they're going to have a really good football team. They have some, and especially because they've got some linemen that have some talent and some size. And you know as well as I do, it all comes down to that front. And he's got some guys to work with over there. I think that's going to be a good story. People are going to. I don't know if they'll be surprised in Culver, but outside of Culver, they might. But Culver's that's a football town.
Yeah.
Between the academy and the Cavs, I mean, Cavs, that's a football school. I don't care what you say.
We switch over to Triton. They had a great season last year, 7-4. We had a chance to see them in a nail-biter against North Judson, where Judson pulled it out late 10-7. But the Triton Trojans under Andy Barker, I like his energy. I like his swagger, I call it. You can tell when I went to that practice last year, the kids look up to him and they pay attention.
He got a great present when he took over last year, and about a dozen seniors that were world-class athletes and really great football players that had a lot of experience. And this year is going to be the year he's able to bring his culture. I mean, that those guys that he had last year, they were great football players. They had experience. But we talked about this yesterday. I got a chance to go out and talk to him. They went through a lot of turmoil in the 4 years at Triton. And, you know, the biggest job he had was giving them some stability and giving them some comfort in that program.
Sure.
And now, you know, they got that and they had a great year. But now this is going to be his stuff from here on out.
We see the LaVille Lancers, new head coach Matt Thacker. Excited for him. He takes over an 8-5 team. LaVille, they made it all the way. Were sectional champions last year. They beat WKVI's North Judson, St. Pierre, and West Central. We cover both of them to become sectional champions. They fell in the regional to Pioneer. So LaVille comes back this year. Your thoughts for the Lancers?
They're going to run the football, so they're going to be basic thing. Matt's going to establish a running game. They're going to run that triple, and anytime you run that, it is incredibly difficult to defend. He's got a chance to win every game they play. So
it'll be exciting.
It'll be interesting.
And then the Bremen Lions under head coach Justin Bogunia, his second year there for the Lions, 17th year overall coaching. The Lions last year, they go 6-5. Probably wanted to be a little stronger than that, but it still was a above 500 record.
Took some time for, I think, him to get used to the people he had. And once he knew his personnel backwards and forwards, you saw them get better every single game a year ago. At the end of the year, I would not have wanted to play that team.
They did a good job against Knox, even though Knox pulled away late.
They were really good by the end because I think he finally got a handle on the talent that he had. And when you give Justin talent, he knows how to make it work. And he'll figure out a scheme to make that happen. And by the end of the year, they had that in place. And they, like I said, I wouldn't have wanted to play them late because they were really good.
The final area football team that Max 98.3 covers is John Glenn, the Falcons. New head coach this year, Troy Sauceman. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yep.
7th year overall. We look at Troy. He's been at McConaughey 1999 to 2004. It's been a minute since he's been a head coach. Be interesting to hear his story, but your thoughts for the Falcons this year?
Well, unfortunately, we're not going to get to talk to him tonight. He's got a team dinner.
I understand.
You know, he sent me an email that, we have team dinner on Wednesday. I'm like, you know what?
Understandable.
I don't trump that, believe
me.
There's no chance in the world, team first. But, it's going to be interesting to see. I have no familiarity with him. I have no idea what's going to happen with him. So it'll be interesting to see. They've got some talent. They've got a lot of good young players, a lot of good young athletes in everything, basketball, baseball. You know, they've got some guys that can make it happen.
We will see John Glenn on WKVI as well. And another thing, we will see LaVille. So I think that's kind of something cool that we're doing is we're sharing. When my teams come over to your area, you will get a chance to see them. And then when your teams come over to my area, I get to cover them. So that's pretty cool as well. But, of course, we are at Yellow River Tap and Eatery. If you saw the post on social media, myself with Tim Harmon, half-off pizzas tonight, Tim. Talk about that. Half-off pizzas.
Well, sure. Anyone who's listening and wants to come out and mention you heard this on the radio tonight, you can come out and get half off. Every Wednesday night, if you become a follower of the Yellow River page, you can show the post on Wednesday nights and get half off too, but you have to show the post and follow us on Facebook. Talk
about this restaurant. You know, when the story came out that this was coming to town, it was pretty impressive. And tell us who you got here with us.
Sure. My buddy Scott Reed and I were partners, and he and I were, just looking to do something fun and different. And he's been with us for 10, 12 years, and we went to trade shows, and we just sort of put some things together. But Scott can tell you, he brought along a barbecue experience, and he's brought
the wings are amazing.
Yeah, so
appreciate that.
Yeah.
The kind of inspiration for everything was, like Tim said, we were at a food show in Vegas. We saw a really awesome beer dispensing system from Pour My Beer.
It is pretty cool.
Then went to a Chicago brewery, checked that out, and thought, this is a really cool concept to bring to Plymouth. And with that, we decided we wanted to expand our pizza experience that we've already had and decided to go into a little bit more of an artisan direction with it. we thought the barbecue was just kind of a really good complement to all of that. So we just kind of thought that it would be, just a really good thing together.
Well, and the thing I like about this is it's a great hangout spot.
Yes.
People come in here, and I notice they hang out, and they don't just eat and run. They like to chit-chat, and the kids come. They have fun. It's just a really neat atmosphere here. I mean, either of you can attest to that. What you've done to the interior here makes it inviting and welcoming.
Definitely appreciate that. Yeah, it was definitely a long process of designing everything, and one of the really cool things is that we were able to do a lot of the things ourselves. We spent a lot of time together designing things, looking up, different avenues to put things different places. So it was a really big team effort. We're very, very happy with how everything turned out. It was definitely a big thing to have it be a community-focused place. It's one reason why we got some really big community tables, and some games for families and stuff like that. We just wanted it to be a place where, it's welcoming to everyone.
I'm going to get to the bottom line with both of you, though. I know a lot of folks who have been here, and I have not heard even a slightly negative review. I mean, everybody says, you got to go. It's fabulous. I mean, I've never heard anybody do anything but rave about what you're doing.
I appreciate that, yeah.
Well, I wish we could say 100% of the time that's the case. But in all honesty, Rusty, I'm serious. 98, 99% of the time, it runs really, really smoothly.
I believe
it's
you.
It's a simple concept. Sometimes the demand overwhelms us at times.
Yeah.
And there will be some lines to order the food, but we're pretty fast regardless. But it's family friendly. It's a lively atmosphere, and we're happy we're here too.
One thing I remember you told me last year when I came in, I think it was after the show, and you said if you want the best pizza, you can't put too many toppings on it because then it won't cook right. And because I got carried away, remember, I'll have that, because you're standing there, you're looking at all the ingredients, you want this, you want that, you want this, and you said, well, hold on, buddy, you don't want all these toppings on it. It's got to cook just right because you have a very, very good, would you call it an Italian oven? Is that an Italian oven?
It is from Italy.
That's what I thought.
They
I remember you telling me.
They hand manufactured all of the individual ceramic tiles and then shipped it all over here as a completed unit. The main reason for the limitation of the toppings is because it is more of an artisan crust, a little bit kind of a hybrid between a Neapolitan and the normal crust that you have from like Papa John's or Pizza Hut. With that, it is just a little bit more sensitive, especially with the stone that it's cooked on. So that's primary reason for the topping limitation.
Yeah.
But like Tim has said, sometimes less is more. You really get all the flavors to meld together when you
and it cooks fast.
Yes. Yeah, really only really about 5 to 7 minutes. Your order will be done and out. It's a really, really awesome process.
What other special things are going on? I know Trivia Night's Tuesday night. Talk about things going on that you do to bring people in what they need to know.
Yeah, every Tuesday night at 7 we have trivia, but you really need to get here by 6:30 at the latest to get a table. You can call ahead and reserve a table, and a lot of people do that. We have on Wednesday nights, like I said, for those who follow us on Facebook, half off for pizza. That's just pizza only. Thursday, we do an all-day happy hour, 25% off at the tap wall. Obviously, Friday and Saturday are your weekends, but we are doing $3 drafts for a few domestics between 6 and 10, right around the Mayor's Month of Music on Fridays. A week from Saturday, not this Saturday, but a week from Saturday, we're doing a special Toby Keith night.
Cool.
8 o'clock. Dress like Toby, dress like a cowgirl, cowboy.
You dress like a cowgirl, Rusty.
For all those.
Thank you.
You can this day and
That'll
age.
start at 8 p.m., but, we'll just play Toby Keith music from 8 p.m. on and have a good time.
Man, this is great. I appreciate you letting us come out tonight because last year it was such a success. The coaches really loved coming out, and they really like it here. It's a great place for us to have a roundtable discussion. Rusty said he likes it as well.
I love this. Yeah. This is perfect.
It's a great atmosphere. You can hear it in the background. It's happening. Yeah. So we're telling the listeners, come to Yellow River Tap and Eatery, say hello to the coaches, but also grab some food and say hello to Tim and Scott as well.
All right. Hey, thanks for having us.
No, thanks for having us.
Yes, absolutely. All right.
Thanks.
Take care,
Appreciate
guys.
you.
Yep.
That's Tim Harmon. And Scott, what was your last name again?
Reed.
Scott Reed. Thank you guys so much for allowing us to come out here. It means a lot.
No problem, man.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we should take a break and come
Probably
back
should.
and get ready to talk to some of our area coaches. We see pretty much all of them without
Yep.
John Glenn. Plymouth, the Rockies head coach Brent Corbett is here. We also see Bremen's head coach Justin Bogunia. LaVille's head coach Matt Thacker is here. Triton head coach Andy Barker. Also Culver Community's Austin Foust. And Culver Academies' Andy Dorrel. We'll decide who to talk to after the break, so don't go anywhere. We're going to have fun here for the season preview show on KVB's Max 98.3.
And we're back at the Yellow River Tap and Eatery, and we're joined by Matt Thacker, head coach at LaVille. I'm glad I finally got a chance to meet you, man. Welcome in, and congratulations on the new situation.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Happy to be at LaVille. Excited to be there. This place is awesome. This is my second place here.
You
Second
like
time
this?
here.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I wish I could have some pizza and enjoy a few beverages, but
Let's talk about you a little bit. I mean, you come from Fairfield was your last.
I was at Fairfield for 6 years,
Okay.
and I was Wawasee for 2 years.
That's
Yeah.
right. Talk about that a little bit. I mean, your history, where you come from, what your philosophy is, that kind of stuff.
Well, you know, I had the fortunate background to work with a lot of head coaches. I was an assistant for a long time. You know, had the opportunity to work with Phil Jensen, Rex Bowser, an old Valley guy. Had the opportunity to work with Coach Curtis for a little bit, and then had the opportunity to go up to Fairfield and, you know, get them back on track, and then figured I'd take a shot at Wawasee, and I, you know, things weren't going the way I kind of envisioned, so I kind of took a step away from it, and sure enough, the day after I resigned, and I did not know this, but the LaVille job opened up, and you know, knowing the history of LaVille and the type of program that it is, the type of kids that they have, took a swing at it, and here I am.
Talk about that process a little bit too, because I know you don't, just jump into another job. I'm sure you looked at LaVille and had an idea of what you were getting into. When you were on the outside looking in, what did you see that made that attractive to you?
Well, I got to be honest. My wife said we weren't moving. That was part of it. So that was a big thing. I remember when I went up to the Angola job to interview, she's like, "Hey, we're not moving."
Right. Yeah.
Understood.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went up and interviewed anyways. But moving was part of it.
Yeah.
A little older now.
Yeah.
Trying to get that mortgage paid off. Enjoy a couple mortgage-free years.
Yeah.
So that had something to do with it, and once I got to the interview process, and was able to meet with Coach Hostrasser and Mr. Edison and Mr. Burke, it just seemed like a good fit with my mentality on how I want to do things, how I envision things. And I don't like saying the word "I," it's because we all were kind of the same way in envisioning how the football program should be, and I couldn't say no.
I'm going to assume one thing that was attracted to you is something that has just been the case there since I was a kid. They're hard-nosed kids that play very, very hard and physical.
You say that, you're absolutely right. They got frustrated with me because one, you can't go full pads every day and camp and all that.
Yeah.
But you only have so many kids. It's not like I have 70, 80 kids right now. And so we have to, scale back and go helmet, shoulder pads, do some things mentally, go over some film, obviously hit the weight room nonstop. But the bottom line is we got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
And we got to worry about us. We can't worry about opponents. In the summertime, worried about getting things installed, things of that nature, getting our coaches up to speed. But the bottom line is we're trying to keep our kids healthy and in the weight room as much as possible.
Now, you had a chance to have an off season, correct?
Correct. Yep.
How did that go for you? Did you get done what you wanted?
Everything's installed. There's some things that we can do in year 2, but those are just tweak type things. But in year 1, we've done pretty well installing stuff. Now we'll find out on Friday night if it's if I'm seeing things. But from the way the film is shown, with scrimmages have shown through the summer. Kids are picking stuff up pretty quick. We went from scrimmage in Cherubusco there at the end of June to going to camp, scrimmage in Warsaw and some other schools. So hopefully, we've gone from not being able to take a very clean quarterback center exchange to now we're running plays, and now I can get after them a little bit because you expect things to be right.
Well, let's talk about. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, you take over for a team that went 8-5 last year, a sectional champs. You come in this year, week 1 at Triton. I know Coach Barker's sitting right here. But anyway, you take on Triton. Is there anything in particular you're preparing for, maybe more so what you want to see from the Lancers, or do you have anything in mind of what you may see from the Trojans?
Well, it goes back to high school football. We want to run the football and we want to stop the run, and everybody wants to do that. Doesn't matter if you're 1A or 6A. Everybody's going to want to try to run football. And as long as you stop the run and run the ball, you should have success on Friday night.
You got any questions for Coach Barker while he's here? You want to ask him anything?
I asked him my one question. He knows a friend of mine, and so we're good.
You already know.
Now, based on, you mentioned Coach Curtis earlier, and your background, people are going to see the triple, correct? It's going to be triple option. Or is there something else that you're going to do?
Oh, no, we're under center.
Yeah.
It's full triple midline toss. I mean, there's little variations. We don't go out of 4-point stances. That's one thing that we don't do. There's little tweaks in our offense that we do. There's little tweaks in our play action game that we've kind of carried over from, we used to go to Harding all the time, now Carson Newman, but there's some tweaks that we've taken from some colleges that run what we do and applied those simple concepts for our kids, especially in the play action game.
Talk about your defense now. What's your scheme going to be? What are you going to run?
We're a 3-5. I think our speed suits us well. We got 3 down linemen that should be physical. They seem to be pretty physical. Hopefully we can stay healthy.
Talk a little bit about your schedule. I mean, your conference is not the easiest thing in the
I'm kind of
world.
used to that.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's nothing new. I mean, coming from Wawasee, the NLC every night's a battle. But, how do you feel about where you're at, knowing what you got ahead of you?
Well, I think I was talking to Coach Hostrasser, and I've talked to Mr. Amor here since he's come on board as our AD. Bottom line is we want to improve numbers, and that goes back to recruiting our hallways and just building relationships with kids and meeting those kids where they're at. Some kids, for whatever reason, they do want to play or they don't want to play. You would think at a place that had success for many years,
right.
they would, kids would be coming out of the woodwork. And that really isn't the case. So, that's something that I'm trying to study and figure out. It's one of those observation type things, and that thing is not a quick fix.
Yeah.
You got to get in the elementary schools. You got to go to the junior high games. You got to go to the youth games. You got to get involved with the youth program and the youth coaches and the junior high coaches. We started off. We do a Read with the Lancer program in the spring, so I was able to get introduced to, along with our seniors, able to get introduced with our elementary kids, first, second, and third graders, and able to meet some fifth and sixth grade kids at camp. So all those things that people don't really think about when it comes to being a head coach, those are the things that make you win on Friday night. And they're program developing type things. And as long as you do those and you're committed to those, the numbers will, especially in a community like LaVille where, it's a football school.
It is.
I've been told by kids that don't play football, I've been told that kids that play basketball, this is a football school. So, I don't know if that's a pressure-packed thing. People have asked me, the pressure. I don't think people understand how much pressure us coaches put on each other.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I could care less what somebody's saying in the stand.
Right.
I mean, I don't hear them anyway. So,
right.
It's just, you take it one day at a time and do the best you can, like this morning. This morning was absolutely insane. Emails you got to respond to, little fires you got to put out. My wife's texting me nonstop, and I'm not trying to be short with her, but I technically was.
Yeah.
But you're trying to get texts responded to. Your mom's bugging you about the schedule, this and that and the other. My son and daughter just got married, so it's been a hectic summer. I've taken a new job, so here we are.
I got a chance to get to know Marcellus Anderson when he was over at Culver last year because that's one of the teams our other station covers. And the energy and the juice that I know he brings to practice, the boys probably feed off of that.
Marcellus is
and
the best.
Playing for University of Massachusetts, I mean, he's a big dude. And, man, with his energy and his charisma and his passion, I'm sure you guys are tell us all who's on the coaching staff, but I just wanted to bring up Marcellus.
We're really blessed with the coaching staff that we have. Before I get to Coach Anderson, Coach Hanson, our defensive coordinator, when I went to Wawasee, I had no idea who Coach Hanson was. Well, Coach Hanson him and his wife had moved to the lake, and he emailed me, asked if I wanted to go out for breakfast. He goes, I know you don't know me, but what do you think about, being a scout, doing something to help you out? I go, well, nobody scouts anymore because of huddle.
Right.
But here are some things that I am interested in, pregame stuff, body language on the sideline, stuff that you don't necessarily see on film. Obviously, sometimes you don't see speed. But obviously, it's obvious sometimes. And so we were able to get him, took the LaVille job, and I said, hey, think about being our defense coordinator. And Kurt was all about it, so blessed to have him on board. And then Nick Davis, he was with me at Wawasee, helped out our offensive line. He's doing our offensive line here. Him and Coach Anderson are. And then AJ Bedock, he's a former LaVille player himself. He's helping us out. Lane Leeper I had fortunate enough to coach with him at Warsaw for a year. He was the defensive coordinator at Triton for a long time, so he's helping us out. Jaden Stahl, another one of our guys, he played for me at Wawasee. It's his first year, so he's learning a lot, but he also understands how I work and things of that nature, so that works out well. I'll make sure I don't forget anybody.
Anderson.
I won't forget. You can't forget Marcellus. I just got to make sure I go through everybody else. But then with our junior high coaches, John Mumm and Andrew Doyle. Let's see, Coach Stoner. Yeah, Coach King.
There's a lot of guys.
There's a lot of guys. I looked at the list. I can hardly remember the kids on my team. Coach King helps us out with their technology.
Sounds like
so extremely blessed with all of our coaches. But getting to Coach Anderson. Coach Anderson can light up a room.
Yeah, he can.
Just by showing up. He doesn't have to say a word. He just shows up, and then people gravitate towards him. The kids love him. He didn't really know us very well, but I'm like, hey, I got another spot on our fishing trip. If you want to go, you're more than welcome. So second week in June, we usually head over to Erie and take a trip over there. Some former coaches, my son, some present coaches. And I didn't realize that Coach Anderson was actually scared to death of going on this fishing trip.
He's not a fisherman.
He's not a fisherman. I didn't know
Culver.
Yeah, we're going walleye fishing. Yeah,
there you go.
So we get on the boat. He does a fantastic job. We limit out each time, but I did not know until afterwards that he was kind of unsure about being on the boat and going fishing and everything, but he definitely was the life of the party that weekend.
Well, we have Coach Barker here, the Triton Trojans. I know he said he doesn't have any questions for you. You kind of talked behind the scenes, he said, but while I've got him here, you got any questions for him? I know you guys are taking on each other week one here, Coach.
I don't know if I have any questions. It's always a little strange doing this every year because my first week 1 and week 2 opponent are here.
Yeah,
so it's
you got questions for him you need to know now.
What's your game plan against us? No.
What do you got? Yeah, tell him. He didn't tell you, but it might not be true.
Yeah, stop the run and score. I get it. That's the same game plan we have.
About 65 times.
I figured Matt would come out and spread. We've been worried about triple all week.
Shotgun spread.
Yeah, watch he will. Your stomach's going to drop.
We haven't taken a shotgun snap all summer.
No,
I just wanted to ask. That was all.
Coach Thacker's a great dude. Of course, NLC connections there. So, yeah, looking forward to Friday.
Well, man, I want to thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. We're going to let you get going, but I will see you tomorrow night. I'm going to come out to practice, and we'll talk again.
Well, if I'm yelling at somebody, it's probably not you. Somebody else.
Listen.
Well, you'll be good.
Given my upbringing with my father, I'm used to getting yelled at, so I'm okay with that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
That is head coach of the LaVille Lancers, Matt Thacker. We appreciate him and his time coming out and chatting with us. Appreciate it. I know he's got to get out of here, but we sure do appreciate the other coaches sticking around and hanging out with us. It means a lot. You want to take a break? You want to go right in?
Let's take a break.
All right, we'll take a quick break, come back. We'll find out who we talk to next. Shout out to the Lancers, Lancer Nation. You've got your guy in Matt Thacker. Show up week 1 on the road in Bourbon, Indiana, and you know who's going to be there. It's KVB. KVB's Max 98.3 FM with Rusty Nixon. Taking a break, coming back. Back here at Yellow River Tap and Eatery, Mitch Columbia along with, the voice of Max 98.3 FM Sports. It's Rusty Nixon. I like Matt Thacker. He's got a good head on his shoulders.
Yep.
I think the Lancers are in good hands.
Yeah, I think so, and they're going to run that triple, and you always have a chance to win when you're running that offense, so we'll see what happens. I guess we're going to Austin Foust here as our number 2. We had a chance to talk at the Lake Fest. You were out there helping out with that. You had a good summer. I mean, how did your preseason go?
Yeah, so, we had a good summer, and preseason-wise, we were able to get our scrimmage in, which was more than what some schools were able to do, and had a little kind of late change of venue and things because Tri-Central's field is a little underwater. And, the Coach Dorrel and, the Academy were nice enough to lend us their field while they were up at School Field against Washington. And we were able to get that in. Thought we did a good job. Got kind of what we needed to, just kids competing, making sure, we know what we're doing and things like that, especially with how young we are. That was important.
Okay, now you're young, but let's talk about your guys. I mean, I remember seeing a lot of those guys play last year. They were young then. They're a year older now, and they're talented.
We do. We have talent. Probably maybe some of the most talent we've had at Culver in a while. We're just young, but they do have some experience. We went through a JV season. We went through, Colton Falk is a guy that was a two-way starter for a freshman and did some really nice things for us. And now it's just that understanding of, hey, even though we're sophomores, right, the belief, right, what that means and things, and that's kind of what, what we're trying to kind of get through today in practice. It was kind of some up and down kind of things, and some parts were slow, and just kind of get those guys understanding and belief of what kind of football team we think we can be, and and it's got to start with that belief first.
Let's talk about your guys a little bit. I mean, you've got a new quarterback. You're going to be replacing a wide receiver, obviously. You're going to stay with the same schemes and things that you had before?
No, we're going to switch things up. We're going to go to a more traditional kind of wing tee. I think it fits our personnel a little bit better. I think it helps, maybe get some misdirection, make it a little bit harder for teams to kind of key and stuff. Zach Zander's going to be our sophomore starting quarterback, and he's got a little different skill set than what Jonas does.
Right.
Got a good arm, but he can use his feet and doesn't mind taking off and things. So I think that's going to be a weapon for us too as well. And we are numbers-wise, numbers isn't where we want it to be, but we got some depth at that kind of skill positions where I think we can rotate running backs and things and all that around, and hopefully keep guys fresh that way.
You did something too that I think. Now, between you and me, I think it takes a lot of courage. You took those young kids, and you let them play a young schedule. And the temptation is always, oh, he's so good, let's bring him to the varsity as a freshman. Sometimes that's not the right thing to do. I feel like you really helped those guys by letting them have a bite they could chew when they were younger.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the things we talked about, and and luckily too, we had a great group of kids where, they were okay with that. They wanted that, and they understood what the benefits and things like that was gonna get to us. And it was one of those things where it was close, where you're like, okay, and we knew that meant maybe varsity. We're playing varsity game with 16 kids, kind of, right. And there's gonna be some things, and our varsity guys were okay with that, and and we were able to win 3 games and improve from what we did last year. And and Colton Falk was really the freshman that was physically mature enough and ready to play that, and was a kid that at the varsity level made plays on both sides of the ball, which is tough for a freshman to do on a Friday night.
Right.
We're excited from that in that regard, and we had a nice showing Friday with some sophomores and things that you've seen things in practice, but then sometimes you haven't seen things. So when the lights go on, what are you going to see? And I thought we saw some things encouraging where we are for week one. Going into week one of okay, if we can just keep improving on that down the season goes and play our best football week 10.
You had anybody step up over the summer that maybe, I don't want to say a surprise, but maybe somebody who's a little further above the line than you thought they were?
I obviously I think our team starts with Drake Zorch. He's a guy
Right,
that we're putting in a new defense, kind of a new offense, and we got a new defense coordinator, Tom Benny, coming from John Glenn, and he probably knows the defense maybe better than most kids that I've been around when we ran this offense at Glenn, and that's a testament to him working hard. So I think that was kind of the first big, but I think Zach Zane, the quarterback, I think he's showed how to run an offense, I thought, was well. And the one thing I've been impressed with him is he's not turning the ball over, right? It's really easy in the summer to when you're running around, okay, this doesn't really matter. It's a scrimmage, so I'm just going to throw this ball. And he's pulled the ball down and take off his feet and things, and not develop those bad habits where you don't want him just to kind of by the ball in the air and think that it's not a big deal. So he's I thought he's been well, and I thought we got another sophomore kid by the kid of Brian Bush, we call him Bushy, who is not the biggest kid. He's the utility player.
Yeah.
He's the true guy that you just put athlete by his name because he may have a lineman number on. He may play running back. He's our, if you talk to him, he's our backup quarterback.
Well, there you go.
Receiver.
Yeah.
He's a kid that, when you kind of think, okay, with our depth and where it is, who can we put there? He's the first kid you think of because one, he's going to do it, and two, he's going to give you everything he has. And he's had a great summer in the weight room. I think he's 170 pounds. He was bench pressing 225 for us. Really, kind of hit that spurt. Of kind of having some explosive and things like that, and is running the ball really well.
Looking at your schedule, once again, I don't know what it is about football in this part of the country, but every conference is like just every night. You got North Judson and all that. Looking at your schedule, what are you hoping for as the year gets started? Because it's a challenge.
It is. I said that last night with Mitch on WKVI that, I think we have, I think we play in the toughest small school conference in the state. I mean, it's a true 1A conference, and it's look how many teams have went to state, semi-state since the founding of HNAC, and we don't really know what Central Noble brings us. West Central's been, they've been rolling over there, and been ranked in the top 10. So, what we're trying to do is just keep getting better every single week and play our best football week 10. And, I think our conference this year is going to be, incredibly, challenging. I think it's going to be a lot of good games. I think, whatever game, that Mitch or you guys at the Max decide to cover in the HNAC, I think you're going to see a good football game. I think there's a couple teams maybe at the top that's kind of maybe separated you going into it, but I think everything else then after that 3 through 9 position is going to be every week you're going to maybe see some surprises and close games.
Well, the part of that too is that you guys kind of break apart for sectional and stuff too. So as you go through, what was it last year? I think there were like 4 HNAC teams in regionals or something.
So we've been blessed. Obviously, have a lot of good football players come through, and obviously a lot of good coaches in that conference. And I think we had an opportunity to send like 4 or 5 teams to regional. Obviously, we had Pioneer, represent HNAC in the north, and it's a tough conference, and every single week. I mean, there's no like, okay, thank God we're here this week. It's hey, you gotta get ready to go every single Friday, and this year is going to be no different.
I forgot. I want to go back and you said you're going to be doing a new defense this year. What have you changed on that?
Yeah, so I think our personnel wise for what we have athletically, we're going to a 3-4, so multiple defense and things like that. We want to be able to be in a situation where what we're doing is we're putting our kids in multiple fronts, so that way the offense can't sit there, tee off, okay, they're going to be in this front, they're going to be in this thing. We want to switch it around just like offenses do formations, and I think we have some athleticism. I think it's fit our kids well. I think our kids like it. So it's something that we looked good Friday doing it. Our kids understanding it, and we have a new defense coordinator, and Tom Bendy, who's coming over from Glenn, and so he's kind of brought that with him, and he's done a really good job teaching it to our kids. We still have Kevin Dante, who is our old defensive coordinator, helping out too as well. So we've really got a very experienced staff, with a young team, and understanding that sometimes we're going to have some young issues and things and understand what they are and just keep trying to bring them along.
And, Tom is not a new man to Culver either.
No, he's not.
I mean, he coached for Coach Zahner there for years.
Yeah. So he was he coached Coach Zahner during that 3-sectional run. I think he started, graduated in Culver in '88, and I think 97 he started coaching. And
because my wife and he, I think, went to school together.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
because she's a Culver girl.
Okay.
So it's he's not any stranger to Culver.
And and to give you a trivia question, Tom Binney is the only Culver coach to be a part of all 4 sectional titles.
That is a good trivia question.
So that's something anybody ever needs. That's one. That's something that. So he's one that he did that, and
I'm sure he likes to say it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he does. He had the 3 with the 3 in 99, 2000, 2001, and then obviously he had the 1 with Andy Thomas and things like that, and so it's been a good part to have him back. I enjoyed coaching him when I was at Glenn and things, and he still lives outside of Culver, so on his way home he just takes a left and he's in the parking lot.
In there.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about the season as a whole. I mean, when it's over with, you got a young team, but they're a year older than they were a year ago. I mean, what are you going to consider a successful year?
Yeah, obviously, one, I think we can get through healthy. With our numbers and things like that. That's obviously everybody's first concern. And the other thing, too, is just I feel like we're playing our best football week 10. It's nice thing too, Indiana, you get 9 preseason games essentially, right? Because everybody gets in the sectional, and are we playing our best football week 10? Because at that time anything can happen,
right?
When you get to there, because you understand now that you've been in coaching what it takes for teams to go on run. One, for stars to line perfectly with the draws, for the weather to line perfectly, injuries, and
then you healthy.
And then the other thing too is you have a team that wants to keep playing.
Yeah.
When the basketballs start bouncing in the gym, or or wrestling practices are getting started, are your kids looking to that, or they have their mind? So all those things, that kids have, that when you're trying to get those short attention spans and things, it takes a lot. So for us, just to feel like we are playing our best football week 10. I mean, I think that's that's all we can ask for our kids. We tell our guys all the time, max effort, your best.
Right.
That's what we want to see, your best, and because obviously, I'm biased, but football is the is the greatest game, and it's the best thing, for life lessons. What it teaches you, because I think maybe sometime we've kind of gone away from hard things, right? And hard is good, right? Hard, being uncomfortable and things like that, and on the other part too, you're doing it with 11 guys. I mean, nobody goes through life alone, or nobody can go through life alone. You got to have people to lean on you and pick you up, and it's no different, right? You make a mistake. That's what we're telling kind of our guys today in practice, right? Hey, if a guy makes a mistake, he knows he made a mistake.
Right.
But we got to pick the guy up and not just keep piling on, right? It's the next play mentality, and that's how it is in life. You got a bad day, well, pick yourself back up. You got a chance to make it a new day, and that's my message to the guys in the practice was, you're the one that controls we have good practice or not. Right?
Exactly. Well, man, I want to thank you. Good luck to you as the year goes on.
Yep.
And I'm sure we'll be in touch. We're got you against Triton, and
I believe, I mean, between the two, you guys, we're on quite a bit, so we appreciate all the coverage you guys do for us, and the free
almost
pizza
worth
down.
sticking around, right?
Yeah, the free pizza,
right?
Well, you can call and ask my wife if it's worth sticking
Coach
around.
Evans.
Last night we had 3.
Coach Evans making fun of you.
Yeah, I had 2. Let's say I had
He's
2
a West
boys.
Central guy,
He is
too.
a West Central guy, but I had 2 boys that were up past 10 o'clock last night when I got home. So
They were listening.
not that they were listening, they just weren't going to bed. So they were pretty excited when I got home at 10 o'clock and they were still awake. But
there you go.
But yeah, no, we appreciate everything, and Yellow River for
course.
having us out. So, and Papa Farm last night. So we get spoiled here between the 2 radio stations here at Culver. I get to be the one guy that gets to do both and things like that. So we really appreciate
Don't say
everything you guys
that
do.
Coach Andy Dorrel's looking at me like, yeah, what's this going on here? He's like, I want pizza 2
Just
nights
a little bit
in a
far
row.
out of the district, just right down the line.
Yeah, you just
It stops right there at Dollar General.
So the story on that is Tony said, no, I got CMA. Tony said, I got CMA, Coach.
Tony Ross. Rest in peace, Tony. Advocate of high school sports in Marshall County, and we miss Tony. But you guys are doing a wonderful job of following up and carrying on his legacy.
So, the one thing in the basketball season, Culver Community and Culver Academies play each other, but you guys don't have to worry about that. So you can be friends with him, right, Coach Foust?
Oh, yeah. Coach Dorrel and I, big time.
Yeah.
So we talk quite a bit, we see and things, and, we had a 7-on-7 together, kind of an impromptu, hey, Coach, do you got enough guys around kind of thing? And lucky enough, they were able to come over and things. So, yeah, it's there's no bad blood, anything like that.
No, not at all.
And we've talked with him before. He wishes he had his guys in June and July.
Yeah, it's a delicate tightrope to walk there. Yeah.
Don't want to dig too deep.
Yeah.
Well,
right
Ben, why don't we take a quick break?
Cool.
We'll come back and we'll get somebody else. Or do you want to go next? Or okay, we'll have Andy Dorrel with us next. So hang on. We'll be right back.
KVB's Max 98.3 FM. It's our season preview show here with Rusty Nixon. I'm Mitch Columby. So glad to be with you. We've had some good talks with two of our area coaches, head coach of LaVille, Matt Thacker. We just finished up things with head coach of the Culver Cavaliers, Austin Foust. We now have a chance here, Rusty. One of my favorite interviews. It's always great to catch up with Andy Dorrel. Coach, how are you this evening? Thanks for coming out.
No doubt, Mitch. It's always great to talk high school football, particularly when it gets late in August. We're right around the corner of getting it kicked off on Friday night.
Before we go any further, I want to give you a chance to do something that I haven't before. Every time I talk to you, it's a good day to be an Eagle.
It's a great day.
Great day to be an
Great
Eagle.
day.
That's how you end your. Talk about what in your mind. 29 years. What does it mean to you to be an Eagle?
Yeah, every day we try to approach a little positivity, right? If you can make an impact in a young person, you make an impact in the people around you, and just find a way to say, you know what, we're going to have a great day. There might be some struggles that you deal with throughout the day, but there's going to be something positive you can take away. And we started that mantra, 29 years ago, and it's just kind of caught on, and other colleagues use that in their email byline. They sell apparel in our bookstore. My wife gives me a hard time because I didn't trademark that years ago, but
you should have.
Regardless, it is. We're going to find a way. That's what we do at Culver.
Let's talk about what that means, though, too, because, you don't stay at this 29 years just because you want to win football games.
Yep.
There's a lot more to it than that. And I know that your main interest is in the men that you're putting together.
Yeah, it's all about relationships and the relationships you build with young people. And it's always exciting this time of year because I just get inundated with text messages from former players that say, Coach, how's the team looking? Do you want me to, come back and visit? And it's just so rewarding because that's so much more valuable than any type of compensation or awards that you could receive. It's about the impact that you make on young people. And, some days they probably doubt that I'm a positive person, but there are also days that they look back and say, gosh, Coach does have my best interest in mind. And just our big 6'5", 298-pound Division I offensive tackle today. I was, getting on his case because he didn't know what the play was in the back of the huddle. He wasn't in the lineup, but he was watching from behind and didn't know the play. It's like, why are you not dialed in?
Yeah.
You have to be a better version of yourself. You are the guy, And so, he texted me, I apologize, Coach. I should have been better. You're right. And that's what you want out of young people. You want them to realize that they're not going to be perfect. They're going to make mistakes. But at the end of the day, they want to commit to being a better version of themselves. That's what we try to pride ourselves in what we do down at the academies.
Well, something like that comes into play in the boardroom. Are you, if something gets brought up, are you prepared to deal with that when your boss says, hey, what's going on here?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think sometimes I got to listen to my own speeches because I don't know if I do a good job of that, but do as I say, not as I do, maybe. Right?
You brought up your Division I. Let's talk about him a little bit because, honestly, my partner, who Joe Get Better, Joe's not here. He had emergency surgery last night. He had an appendectomy. I told him it was really a long way to go to get out of doing the show tonight. But he loved that kid last year. The times we had you, he's like, that kid is going to do something. And he's an old lineman, but that, you got a heck of a player there.
Yeah, we do, and Charlie Lawson is, he's come so far, and the opportunity that he's been afforded to Culver and to be able to learn and grow in our system. And there's days that, Charlie, you could make this a lot easier on yourself by just getting in line with what we're doing, but I can't imagine where he would be without Culver.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. This kid's created opportunities for himself that Culver's helped facilitate. He's going to have a full ride scholarship to go to college. Right now he's committed to Miami of Ohio, and who knows what that'll matriculate to at the end of the season. But really appreciate what Charlie's skill set is and how he can impact a football game, and excited for him in his senior year. And on that note, we've been very fortunate over the last several years to have a number of Division I players, and invariably every single one at some point reach out and text me or talk to me and say, Coach, I wish I had one more game at Oliver Field.
Yeah.
The best time of these kids' lives is playing high school football.
It has to be, because it doesn't have it's not a job when you're in high school. You get to college, guys don't understand.
Yeah.
That's a job. You got to show up like it's a work situation, and you don't get to have your buddies around you and all that camaraderie going on. It's a different animal.
Yeah.
Completely.
Again, it's just we're fortunate to be able to have some talented kids, and for them to go on and do some great things after Culver is pretty exciting. But it's really about making the most of the moment where you are, and we get to do that in 48 hours.
Yeah.
We get to turn the lights on, and we get to play high school football. They're going to have their friends in the stands, and we're just going to get after it.
I've been talking with these other guys about their preseason. Obviously, we kind of hit on it a little. You don't really have a preseason. I know you get to see some of them at certain times.
Like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, but you don't really even know who's coming back until school starts.
Yeah, our first practice was 2 weeks ago tonight.
Jeez.
And
that just doesn't seem fair, Coach.
Well, you know what? We don't make it a hindrance.
Excuse. Yeah.
We just say, you know what? This is who we are. We know we're going to get better. We want to be the best football team that we can be in November, and we got to earn our way to November.
Right.
But that's what our goal is, and ultimately we've got, we don't have a conference title to play for. And we just want to become a better football team, grow as a team. I mean, I have some real concerns right now about our team, but that's any coach.
Yeah.
Do we have enough depth? Do we have enough camaraderie? Do we have enough trust? Do we have enough buy-in? Do we have enough depth? Do we have enough, all of that? And the same challenge other coaches face.
Right.
We just have to do it very quickly and pivot as we need to be successful.
And it starts quickly. 5A South Bend Adams you host. Here on Friday. What are you preparing for?
Yeah, a physical team. They've got some tremendous athletes that and played together for a couple years, and we need to make sure that we play as a mistake-free game as we can and not give them an opportunity. I don't know if we can beat them toe-to-toe, but if we can just execute and minimize our mistakes, we're going to be successful on Friday.
We'll see you on WKVI hosting Knox. He'll see you against Rensselaer Central. We'll see you. I'll get a chance to do a game at Oliver Field. I'm excited about. But this schedule, Coach, I mean, it's not an easy schedule.
Yeah, you look at there's a strong mix there of 5A and 4A teams, 3A teams, and of course Knox they could easily be a 4A team, and I don't know Coach Racky wouldn't think that. But
he's happy they're in 2A. Trust me, he's very happy.
They've got a tremendous program and what they do over there, and not to discredit anyone else on our schedule, but I mean the South Bend Adams, the Mishawaka Marians, the Knox, McCutcheon, right out of the gate, we've got 4 just meat grinders that we're going to have to play good football to have success in the win column. But again, our ultimate goal is to be a better football team every Friday night than we were to start the evening.
What are some names that Rusty and I are going to be calling out a lot? Maybe some names that you want to mention on the air that are going to be, seeing a lot of action.
I'm really proud of a second-year guy for us, Finn Manning. He's playing outside linebacker, tight end, really taking a great leadership role. Harrison Stanley, another second-year player for us, playing offensive guard, defensive end. We got a couple guys dinged up right now, and Logan Hinton and Clark Pugh that are going to be real stalwarts for us on the offensive line. Of course, Charlie Lawson is going to be a guy that's going to have to be a difference maker for us. He cannot just be content with being the biggest guy on the field.
Yeah.
He has got to dominate on Friday nights. He has that ability with his speed and quickness and size and strength. but there's going to be we're going to have to carry. Charlie's going to have to carry us for a while. And then we've got, the Standfast brothers, Jeff and Jack and Tommy. It's their first year playing football.
Wow.
But they're tremendous athletes, and we're looking forward to seeing what they can do with the football in their hands. Max Pasquale's another returner for us, dynamic athlete. Colin O'Neill's emerged at quarterback, and he'll be a first-year starter for us, but had a really good offseason. So, there's just a number of guys that are going to contribute. Kenny Gibson, a local kid that's really taken on a role as being an inside linebacker for us. A couple of new kids we've added to the mix, and Chris Wirtz this year is his first year for us. Loudon Darty, Owen Scarlett, Russell Bosick. So a number of kids that your listening audience is not going to be aware of, but we hope they know their names at the end of the game on Friday.
Talk about how you feel about where you're at. I mean, obviously you have 2 weeks.
Yep.
You've got an impression. It's going to change, obviously, as you go on, but how do you feel about where you're at right now?
Yeah, try to be really simple up front, with our defensive scheme, our offensive scheme. We don't have nearly our package in on defense that I wanted, but I want to be able to play fast and physical.
Yeah.
So that's going to bode better for us on Friday than trying to out-scheme somebody. Offensively, I really give a lot of credit to Paul Patrick and Mike Kirshner and Ed Kelly. The Plymouth fans will want to revisit us from the years of 2000 to 2004 when the Rockies were running the double tight end T formation, and it is in full effect at CMA right now. We're really excited about how it fits our personnel.
Right. Yeah.
And it really fits our personnel, and it's our best chance for success this year.
Talk a little bit about your defense, because that's the one thing that I always remember, that I go away every time I see one of your teams play, no matter what year it is. Fast, physical,
Yep.
creating turnovers. I mean, it's one of those defenses that, as a fan, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, well, thanks for saying that. I mean, I hope our opponents feel that way, right? But I mean, it's one that we just try to put our kids in a position to use their athleticism. We don't have the time to teach the intricate technique. We don't have the time to prepare for everything. So if we can just put our kids in the right position and allow them to not think too much and just execute, allow their natural abilities to take over, that's what we really focus on. This year we really emphasized our tackling, and that's been a point of emphasis for us. And if we can tackle well, it's going to really help put us in a position to be successful and get the offense off the field and give the ball back to our own offense.
I got to be honest with you. I just love watching a defense that flies around and makes play. It's old Bear fan. I remember the old Fort, watching that kind of, you just got athletes out there flying around making plays, and I love watching that.
Yeah, well, thank you.
We've talked about it before, our connection. You're from the Batesville.
Yep,
And,
Brookville.
or Brookville, sorry.
Yep.
Brookville, sorry, close enough.
Yeah.
I went to Rushville. I actually went to school with, what was your nephew?
My nephew,
Your
yeah.
nephew.
Yeah.
And I didn't play football, but every time I listened to your interviews, I thought, man, I'd have played for that guy. I'd have played football. I was just a basketball player, down there. But man, Coach, I just love your energy. And every time when I came to practice last year, you can tell the kids pay attention to you and they respect you.
Well, thank you, Mitch, because, I hope that carries over. This year we're going to have 70 kids on our roster.
Oh, cool.
And
70?
in my 30 years at Culver, CMA, we've never had that many.
Yeah.
And that's, the last time we played, the last time we really were viable sectional contender was in 2001, and we had 35 kids on the roster.
Whoa.
And this year we have 70, so we're really excited about our young kids.
That's good.
About our senior class, our depth, and it's just a matter of coaching those kids up to put them in a position to be successful.
Well, man, I want to thank you for joining me. We'll be in touch soon, and good luck to you as the season goes on.
Oh, thank you, gentlemen.
Can I
for all
still
you,
come to practice?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
I appreciate all you guys do for high school sports. It's the last bastion of amateur athletics, and this is what young people need. They need high school football.
I can't wait for the Saturday game.
He's doing the Saturday game.
Every time you guys have a Saturday
It's
game,
a fun
even
one.
if I'm not working it, I go down there. That is a great atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's just like a small college atmosphere for what you're doing. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be our parents' weekend,
I knew it
so
was.
we're going to have a lot of people in the stands and a lot of interest around the field. So we have a great
a good one.
opponent in Chris Meeks and the Rensselaer
Yep.
Central Bombers, and I've always had tremendous respect for him, and that's where I'm at this point in my career. I really want to play against guys that I respect across the field, and knowing that both of us are working kids in the right way and helping them develop to be the best versions of themselves and their character, their integrity, and they get after it on the field between the whistles.
Yeah.
And you'll talk to him every Saturday. Isn't he the first?
You're number one on the list every
first
Saturday.
interview?
7 a.m.
How do you
kick
do
it off.
that? I'm
You can tell he just rolled out of bed.
The phone rings, he picks it up. It's a great day to be an Eagle. Instantly. And it's like, okay, I've been up since 3.
So is he.
Well, man, thanks for your time, and we'll be in touch, and good luck to you.
Appreciate you. Take care. It's a great day to be an Eagle, Rusty.
We'll be right back.
Back here at Yellow River Tap and Eatery, Mitch Columbia along with the voice of Max 98.3 FM Sports. It's Rusty Nixon. We have an opportunity to transition here in this season preview show to talk with Bremen Lion head coach. It's Justin Bogunia. Coach, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you guys too.
Absolutely.
Coach, I want to start out talking a little bit about last year. And I remember our early talks, especially after the first game. I mean, you said, I know there were people in the stands questioning the offense. I'm not so sure the coach wasn't questioning the offense. You figured that out quickly. And I think, once again, I think it goes back. It wasn't your first rodeo, but you had to get used to the guys you had and the talent that you had, and you figured it out.
Yeah, I think that goes both ways with the players as well, right? Just getting to know me, and then flipping it with myself and my coaching staff, getting to know the kids. Like, we walked in there not knowing anybody, right? And so then coming in, and we had a quick turnaround of just basically 2 months to get to know kids and try to get, we didn't have any thuds or camps or anything, and then it was basically first game, and all of a sudden, right, then things just kind of you kind of figure it out then, right? By baptism by fire, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well, but the other thing, though, I think that helps you, it's not like you don't have legitimacy in that community. I mean, you've been a part of that. You're a part of some great football teams. You've coached some great football teams. I'm sure when you eventually figured things out and they were listening to you. I mean, they were tuned in by game 2 or 3 that I saw.
Yeah, I would like to think that I earned a little bit of patience with that going in, but I was very truthful too when we came in, right? Like, you come in and you just get whooped up and down the field the first game. So, being experienced, I think, and the things that I've gone through, that I could just rely on and just know that we were going to get right the ship as the season went on. Give me some time to incorporate what we do, our drills. I would like to say or think that my kids get better as the year goes on, right? That I can develop some players and we can get good at what we do. And it just took us a little bit longer.
I didn't see game 1, but as it went on, I saw you 3 or 4 times over the course of the year. And I felt like every time I saw you, I don't know how to say this so it makes sense to anybody other than you, but it slowly became Bremen football, the way I remember Bremen football from back in the day. I mean, just, put your helmet on.
Right. I mean, that's how I grew up, right?
Yeah,
it's not just me coming in and coaching. Like, I lived it. Right?
Yeah.
I grew up. I watched my brothers. Then it was my turn, right? Then it was my younger siblings' turn, and then and so that's a big part of who I am, and it always will be. And I hope that that I, that I'm able to pass that on, I guess, to the younger generation, and that Bremen football is still Bremen football, and I'm not going to change it, right? Like, I know that's a winning formula, and so I'd be crazy to. And even when I stepped out of college, playing as a player and going in, I knew that, right? Like, I guess after almost, I hate to say it, like, I'm gonna say over 20 years, but of coaching, you just take the best of everything and all your experiences, just kind of blend them into who you are and what you do, and that's what I've tried to do.
And the other part of it is, too, I think as it went on, it became clear to me you had a lot more comfort with who you had and what they could do, and putting them in positions to succeed, because there are a lot of changes, especially offensively, you went through.
Yeah.
And it depended on who you were playing, what the scheme was. I mean, there was a lot of of that involved in putting guys in the position to be successful.
For sure, and you don't ever want to get used to doing that or that to be your situation. But last year it was, and as you know, we were actually literally moving kids in positions probably into the middle of the season.
Right.
The first 3 weeks for sure. And that's not an ideal situation to be in as a coach, but it just goes back to being familiar with your players, trying to put them in the best position possible to succeed, right? The position that maybe they see themselves in when they come in is maybe not the best place for them, for the team even to succeed. So sometimes we have to make those tough decisions and get the kids to buy in.
And your kids bought in. I mean, we got to give them credit too. There were times with the way injuries were going, it was next man up, and it was really clear. Those guys stepped in ready to go, and they gave you a lot.
Yeah, they did, and the commitment was there. The effort was there for sure, right? And then, you come down to the games, right? And then, I like to say we just ran out of time, right?
Yeah.
It's not about losing. It's we just ran out of time, and so definitely got that kind of effort from those kids last year, and. The great thing about that, right, is that the time that we put in and all that wasn't lost on the underclassmen and carried over in the off season into the season. Now, we hope to reap some of those benefits of a full year.
Just going to ask you about that. How has the off season been? I mean, you've had another year for them.
It's 100% better.
Well, there you
0
go.
to there's 100% definite improvement from last year at this time.
That's good.
Right. I mean, if you're a betting man, you bet on that because you go from 0 to wherever we fall right now, and it's 100% better.
How did your off season go? Did you see what you wanted to see?
Yeah, it went great. Right, like the same thing with when you're talking about buying in. Our younger kids bought into our off season weight program and the summer workouts, and that was great to see. And so to have that commitment from them, I told them, I was like, the hard work, you guys paid the price. I was like, there is no doubt that you paid the price to be able to win on Friday. Now you just got to put it together, right? Make plays when you get the opportunities, but they're ready, right? Physically, they're ready. So we're excited, and we can't wait to, for that opening kickoff on Friday.
We talked about everybody else's schedule. Yours isn't any different. That conference you're in, I mean, you got out of the end, whatever.
It's a good conference. It's a good conference.
It's a great football conference.
It is a really great football conference. And, quality, right, up and down the board. So, yeah, it's just week after week after week. And you better have your A game and definitely put in the work, because if you don't, right, the coaches are good enough and the players are good enough to make you pay for it.
Looks to me like you got some really key road games right there in the middle, too. Just those three bunched together.
Yes.
I mean, how do you feel about that?
Well,
I mean, 3 in a row on the road like that.
It is tough.
Well, John Glenn, that's a rivalry.
Then you're going
game.
to Buchanan.
Yes. Jimtown it used to be the game.
Right, and then you're on the road.
Yeah.
For those, yeah. I mean, it's never ideal to go on the road 3 weeks in a row, but right, it is. I got to look at the flip side, right? Is we're at home those first 2 games, so that's nice to start the season off at home. We were on the road last year, right? So first year, road game,
right.
And then the way they turned out. So we're looking forward to starting off. At least I'm gonna focus on the positives here, and let's look at those first 2 weeks at home.
Yeah,
and then I'll get to that when we get there.
Let's talk about some of your players. I mean, who have you seen that you really like so far?
Derek Miller is coming back as a senior. Talk about a kid that's put in the time and the effort, and is bought in. Definitely a hard-nosed, blue-collar football player, and had a great offseason in the weight room as well. I look to see him continue to improve. He was a great football player last year, so I can't take much credit for that, but hopefully the improvements that we see this year, I really think that he's going to have a really good year. And we're really, actually, we're really young. So we lost a lot of our linemen, and then Jack Wildauer was a big part of our offense.
Huge.
He had a ton of our offensive production left with him, and so you got Jake Rodriguez coming in as a sophomore that's going to take over the quarterback position. And then we have some guys like Jace Pippinger who carry the ball some, right? So we have some guys that did a little bit on one side or the other of the football that have varsity game experience, and then a good mix of new guys coming in underneath them. I think the big thing for us is how well we could get our line to gel, and I hate to say it, but it's the old adage, right? The trenches, the offensive, defensive line, but that's where our new guys are. Right, our experienced guys graduated off of there, and so it really is true.
Yeah, you graduated one of the most frightening human beings I've ever seen on football field.
Freddie?
Yeah. There is no way I would have been happy to look up
What's
and
the story
see him.
on that?
He was just a
Where'd he go?
player.
Did he go play?
He's going to wrestle in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
He's
so
a heck of a player.
He's that kind of tells you all you need to know, right?
Yeah.
Like he probably could have played football somewhere too, but he loves to wrestle. He's going to wrestle. I can't remember the name of the school, but it's up in Wisconsin.
Well, and I remember last year when we talked, I came to that practice. You were preparing for Knox, and you said, we're finally getting to the point. Of course, that was week 8 when you played Knox, and you said, we're finally getting to the point where I'm seeing things I like. And when we talked to Coach Radke the following morning on the Saturday Sports Line on our other station on WKVI, he said, what Bremen did to us last night, he said, I'm glad we saw that because that kind of let us know when we get into the postseason. He said that prepared us. He said Bremen came in and showed stuff to us that we just didn't handle quite well. And I remember that game. It was a good game, and you right there in the beginning, it was really looking strong. But from what he had talked about, he said Bremen really was a team that really showed us late in the season. Hey, we need to mind our P's and Q's here.
Well, I'll take that. That's a great compliment coming from Coach, and again, yeah. I mean, you shocked me. Like I had not heard that. So again, with a great team that they had last year, and some of it, right, was what we had done that we talked about, the changes that we made, and some of it was new just for them, right, to try to give us an edge here or there, but. Again, we faced a really good football team in Knox last year, and
you'll see them again
towards the second half, right? Towards the second half, they just kind of pulled away from us, which we later saw, right? No shame in that loss for sure.
Talk about what you want to see this year. I mean, obviously, you've been at this long enough. Wins and losses. Wins are always great, but there's another reason why you're still coaching. I mean,
right.
What do you want to see at the end that's going to make you feel like you were successful this year?
Improvement. I usually, right, like when I reflect back, is my team better at the end than they were at the beginning? I told you I kind of have always hung my hat on. I've been doing it for a long time, and that wasn't the first time I started 0-2, right? But I always tell everybody, be patient. Let's just keep doing the work and doing what we know is right, and stick to the process. It's easy to scrap it, right, when you're 0-2 and just throw away everything. Had I been a younger coach, maybe I would have. Who knows, right? You do get a little bit. I told you too, right? Like I don't blame them. They're up there questioning me right now. I'm questioning myself. What am I doing?
Exactly what you
said.
But
you just kind of stick to. That, right? It's tried and true, and. Believe in what you do and stick to your process. I think the biggest thing you can give high school kids is consistency.
Yeah.
Whether it's just the coach staying there or the program, right? You do that eventually, right? You're gonna have success, and that program's probably gonna be successful.
You got Jeff Kaiser coaching with you this year too, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
That's gonna.
Whoa, little inside scoop
That's right.
there.
That's right.
These
yeah,
two
we've
guys have been
coached
coaching together a couple of times.
I love Jeff. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Well, you guys got a good staff then.
Yeah,
did you go over the staff?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, who all you got besides Jeff Kaiser?
Well, I've got to start with Jeff Jankowski, who is
man, yeah,
he's the godfather. I mean, you talk about Bremen football; he's been there the longest.
He
was on some. He was coaching on the state championship and runner-up team when my brother played, and so he coached me as well. So Jeff Jankowski always starts the list.
Head coach for a while there.
Yes, sir. And then Jeff Kaiser. And then we have former players with Tim Mosier and Tyler Koffel. And then we got Kevin Smigalski from John Glenn came over. And then we have some younger guys, some guys that Michael Good, Garrett Wagner came over from LaVille.
Okay,
Those names have you heard?
Yeah.
Those guys were great players in
Yeah,
their
they
own
were.
right. Maddox Bogunia, my nephew, is
Okay,
coaching with
yeah.
us. I played at Marion. He was a good football player. So, yeah, I mean, we got pretty good staff. I'm pretty fortunate what we put together. And, getting those kids definitely good instruction's a big part of it.
Well, man, I want to wish you good luck. I think we're going to see you week 4. We got LaVille. So we'll be on that one for you. And then later on in the year, I can't remember. Glenn. We also got Glenn. So we'll be there for your
LaVille at Bremen and then Bremen at Glenn.
Yeah.
That's right.
We'll
All right.
be there for you.
Good.
All right.
All right. Good talking to you.
Good talking to you.
Good to see you, Coach.
Thanks again.
That's Justin Bogunia from Bremen, and we'll be right back.
Back for more at Yellow River Tap and Eatery for the season preview show here on KVB's Max 98.3 FM. Mitch Columbia along with Rusty Nixon. We now transition to Triton, the Trojans. It's head coach Andy Barker. Man, it's good to see you.
Thanks, man. It's good to be here.
I saw you last night, so you're old school to me.
Yeah. Between the Triton connection and the old school Plymouth connection, we've been around each other a little bit.
Yeah, we've been once in a while.
We've been around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Been through some stuff.
A little bit.
Let's not talk a ton about last year, but a little bit. Okay. You came in first year. Mm-hmm. You inherited one of a special class. They ended up winning a state in basketball.
Yep.
They played an unbelievable football season. Had a great year. And, but we talked a little bit last night. That was a group also that had a lot of trauma in the course of their 4 years there. And, you're walking into that situation. That's got to be first on your mind is how do I let these kids know there's some stability here?
Yeah. It was such a storm of different things, right?
Right.
You had the trauma of what they had gone through with the previous coach, and then there had to be some healing done there. And then on top of that, you had a very talented athletic group that expected to win. So you had to heal, and then you had to figure out how you were going to win. And then you had to take a group that had been in a system for a very long time that was not my system.
Right.
And so we talked yesterday. It was like I took a little bit of what they had, and then I mixed it with my stuff in order to use some of their verbiage, but yet some of their blocking schemes were different. It was this weird collage of things that were happening, and we made it work. The boys last year worked incredibly hard because they truly did love football, that class, and it ended up working out, but naturally didn't end the way we wanted it to.
Now, honestly, it was clear they bought what you were selling.
Yeah.
Now, them buying into that, how much does that mean to you this year? Simply because those are also, 10 or 12 guys that everybody younger than them was looking at them saying, I want to be like that guy. And that, so the fact that they bought into what you were teaching, I got to believe that's made it easier for you this year.
It did. And, that was the other thing you had to establish, that this is a firm and solid foundation. I think because of what I do for a living helped with that a lot.
Yeah.
I think they saw the outside Coach Barker. And so then they could believe in what was going to happen. And I actually got asked about halfway through last year by some of the administration guys. They're like, do the kids know you love them? Because they're worried about it, right?
Yeah.
And I said, well, I think if you ask them, the answer would be, yeah, they do know I love them. But some of that's a function of time, of knowing that he's going to be here day in and day out.
Right.
He's going to be consistent in his message and who he is. And I think, to your point, that has now driven into what we're looking at this year.
How do you feel about how it's going? Because I don't want to say a rebuild, but, when we talked last night, you got guys who have experience, but not continuous reps. I mean, the other guys were getting those reps a year ago. What do you feel about what you're seeing right now?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, rebuild is kind of the word. It's just the truth, right? And the boys know it. They're not naive. They understand that senior class had been taking legitimate varsity reps since a lot of them their sophomore year.
Right.
And so when it comes to the human capital side of the experience, we're down. We've got 3 or 4 guys that had legitimate reps on Friday night. And there's that sense of urgency because I think they know that they have to make up for some things. And so practice has been solid. You could tell that they're more focused, I think, even than last year, because they know that they don't know.
Right.
And so because of that, that's kind of driving them a little bit.
Do you feel good about what you've been able to accomplish so far?
Yeah, I do feel good. And again, we talked last night. It goes all the way back into the summer, and we did a book study. And so, the people out there are like, really? You got teenagers reading a book over the summer? How'd
that work out for you?
It did. It worked out much better than I thought. It's funny. I always said if I ever got my own program, there are certain things that I would do.
Right.
And believe it or not, the book study was one of them, because I wanted them to understand there's more than just what's going on here in the world, right? And we needed a foundation of who we were when it came to our character. And so, we read the book Above the Line, and I think I joked. I'm like, it's by Urban Meyer, so, good for all you Ohio State fans out there. But just remember,
he was a Notre Dame guy.
He was Notre Dame first. So, great book. A lot of crossover between life and the gridiron. And so it gave us a common language as a staff, and now a common language as an entire program, that when we are saying some of these things, the boys, they get it, and then they lock in even more. So it's been a good experience. The boys are coming around every day. They're working very hard, and I couldn't be happier.
I know you got offensive flight. You say it all the time. You're a run first guy. Yeah. Now, looking at the setup, it's a shotgun kind of spread thing. It doesn't look like a running offense, but I've always wondered why people thought that was a passing offense anyway. It was designed to run the football.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the guys you got plugged in there?
Yeah, spread to run is kind of the whole old school kind of feeling. You're right. It's been a couple decades now, really. But it's a bit of both, right? So if the offense is running properly, then you as a defense have to cover the entire field against me.
Right.
Because there is an option to the right, there's an option to the left, and then there's our run piece. So when we're firing on all cylinders, and we're still building toward that, it becomes a very tough offense to stop. And I think even going back to this last year, like, there were some people that were nervous about my offense and whether certain individuals were going to get to run the ball. Well, I think they figured out real quick that wasn't going to be a problem. And it's the same thing here. This year, given who we have, we'll have Ryder Gayhart at QB1 on Friday night. He was our slot/running back. I moved him around a lot last year. He's one of our best athletes on the field. He's got the God-given talent to be able to find a hole and be shifty. So we'll have him back there along with Tyler Payton. We saw glimpses of him last year, especially when we were up. He's going to be a super special kid. And then Caden Bradley will be out a little bit wider. He's kind of our fast slot guy. Dude can jump out of a gym. So we have some weapons that we're going to spread the ball around and try to get wide and vertical. I
know you said you were going to do something a little different defensively. How have you changed that up a little bit?
We'll be more of a steady 3-3 stack this year. My defensive coordinator actually went to St. Joe with me, and when he was there, that's what they ran.
Right.
And so he's much more comfortable in that system. And man, it's fun to watch him coach, because you can tell he's thinking at 100 mile an hour, and he's just ready. And so be very 3-3 stack. Yeah.
Was he the guy out there last night that was running? Because you say that, and that's the first thing that went through my head was it looks like he's trying to figure out how he's going to communicate everything that's going through his head all the time.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. It's funny to watch him on Friday night because he's everywhere, but he's so locked in that it's wild. It's wild to watch him.
How do you feel about your schedule? We've talked about the HNAC. How many I remember when they everybody was going into that conference, and I'm thinking to myself, everybody's talking about more chances for small schools to win. Not in football. I mean, that is one of the toughest football conferences in the state.
The passion around football in our conference
it's crazy.
Awesome.
The HNAC is awesome, isn't it?
It really is. And so, you look across the board, and every single year you're going to be in dogfights with –
like that Judson game last year.
Judson is going to be a slugfest.
That was a wild game.
Yeah.
It was a defensive battle.
Pioneer is going to end up being a slugfest.
Pioneer.
Now, both of those guys graduated some people just like we did, but they're great coaches, so they're going to end up finding a way by the time we get to them that they're going to be competitive. The one that has kind of been a sleeper for years now is Caston. They only graduated one kid. And
the thing about them, though, too, is when you play them, they don't back off you. They are coming.
Yeah.
Their hats are on, and they're ready to go hit people.
Well, and last year they had a little extra because their defensive coordinator is actually my boss. I'm surprised I didn't get stuck on midnights after we beat them. I didn't. Thank you, Tony. But
Tony.
They had a little bit of extra. He claims that he's retired. I don't know. We'll see if he's officially retired from football or not. But I think they're going to be really good. North Miami, they've lost some kids, but you're always dealing with the triples, so they'll plug guys right back in. And got a lot of questions because we got a lot of new faces out there. There's a new coach at South Central. I don't know what the heck they're going to be running.
Steve Forker, we talked to him last night.
Yeah.
He kind of alluded to it. I've been to practice. I think it'll be a lot of the similar things you've seen from South Central where they're going to try to get the ball in the air.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away, but I mean that's what they've told. That's what he talked about.
Yeah, they've got good athletes over there. They were physically huge.
They had a good 8th grade class come in, so there'll be some good freshmen.
Yeah, and unfortunately they cut their JV schedule. It's a 1A problem, right? Like if you'd asked me in July how our JV team was going to be, I would have told you that I'm nervous. And come school, we had several kids come out. We're sitting somewhere between 36 and 39, which is really good for 1A.
That is very good. Culver's at 22.
Yeah.
Community.
Yeah, and unfortunately they canceled their JV schedule as well. And I get it. It's 1A problems.
Right.
And so, it's just new faces, new things. You're going to have turnover. With
you got
Coach
more
Thacker.
Judson.
Yeah.
You have more numbers than Judson does right now.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and Judson, they'll fire another class out. Let's be serious. That's how they are over there. They come crawling out of the woodwork.
I was trying to give you some positive, Coach.
No, they don't come crawling. They come crawling out of the weight room.
Yeah, they do have a heck of a weight room culture over there.
I am just fascinated with how they can every year have that many big, incredibly physical guys.
Well, hopefully we can get Graham Chapman on that. He's our new weightlifting coach.
Okay, I know Graham. So, he's an old Plymouth guy.
He's actually on our staff now for football, so hopefully he can get a little of that North Judson vibe for us in the weight room.
There you go. Well, man, I will see you again on Friday night. Good luck to you. And we got your game week 3 as well against Culver, so we'll be seeing each other.
It's always good to see you, Coach.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right. Andy Barker from Triton, and we will be right back with Brent Corbett right after this.
Yellow River Tap and Eatery is where we are at downtown Plymouth, Indiana.
You have a little bit too much of the eatery there.
I've been eating some pizza while you're asking your questions.
I've been
too much of the
tap, maybe.
The barbecue pizza is fantastic. The pepperoni pizza is fantastic.
I haven't had any.
I'm going to get you some. If you'd let me ask a couple of questions, you
could. If I eat anything, I end up making noises while I'm talking that people don't want to eat. Yeah, okay. I don't know.
But it's a great place. We shout out to Yellow River Tap and Eatery, to Tim Harmon and Scott Reed. They have done a fantastic job this evening, and we appreciate them letting us host the season preview show for 2026 as we kick off the new season. We're talking with head coach Brent Corbett of Plymouth. It's good to see you. It's been 12 years, Coach, but it's good to see you.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I mean, Yellow River's been great for my family. We usually take up one of these massive tables and let our
you do that. You
run
would probably,
wild. So this is a great place.
If you have the Garrity family with you, you're probably taking up the whole place.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of let ourselves be comfortable around here. So no, it's a great place. I'm glad it's a great place for Plymouth to have, that people can come around and enjoy time together. This place is always packed every time I drive by. So I
live just down the street. This parking lot in this area from about 5 to 9 every night it is always full. So if you're going to come in, make sure you maybe call ahead, get yourself a table saved, because it's going to be a while.
I'm excited for you, though. I'm very excited for you. You know, being an assistant coach that long and being given the reins, I just, from an outside perspective, I moved to Plymouth, so I always keep an eye on Plymouth. So I'm just really excited for you, Coach.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Being a Plymouth guy, I just wanted to make the community proud of what Plymouth football used to be. Hard-nosed, tough. We're going to fight for every inch. Trying to get that back and, just have community pride for our kids.
Talk about the process. I mean, you get the job. Obviously, you weren't expecting it. Was it difficult, or did you have something in your mind? I mean, a lot of guys have in mind, okay, if I ever get my own gig, I'm going to do it this way. Did you have any of that, or was it just like, oh, my God, now I got to come up with a whole program from scratch?
I mean, you always, when Ron was interviewing for the job, he had asked, like, would you ever want to be a head coach? At the time I was like, I'm really happy with being a DC and, being the assistant athletic director at that time. Like, to me, it kind of made more sense career-wise, maybe being an athletic director. But, when Ron had called us and said, hey, guys, like, going to resign, went to my father-in-law's house and kind of looked at Kevin and it's like, well, it's either going to be you or me probably. So, when I got approached, it was kind of a shocker, but, I've been blessed to have a support system and a family that, has been behind me. And, our staff's been amazing. Everyone's been around for years. So having a strong staff like that has definitely made this transition a lot easier.
Well, and I was going to say, you and Kevin are the obvious choices because you've been in this program. You've coached all these kids since, well, I remember coaching you when you were 8, 9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
You've done the same with these guys, and that brings legitimacy with it, I think. If you've got that familiarity, those kids already know what they're going to get with you. And that, I think that probably, tell me if I'm wrong, but that's got to have helped you.
I mean, I think it does. Having the relationships with the kids is definitely a plus of knowing what ticks for them of like, can I yell at this kid maybe a little harder to push him compared to this kid needs a little more love. So having that has definitely been helpful, especially with, the transition of, all winter and spring we're going to be a tight wing T team and we're going to run this defense to now it's, okay, well, we're going back to spread, running the ball and going back to what we were. So kids being able to know the familiarity of what we expect and also, setting a standard back to what we used to be has been kind of the change for them.
Can we get to that again, too? Because I talked with Andy a little bit, but, I always get fascinated with people that think a spread offense is, they're going to be throwing the ball all over. The spread is a running offense. It always has been. Look at the teams who've run it well. Even when they first came out in college with it, who ran it well? Florida, because Tim Tebow was a halfback. I mean, it's a running offense, and that's where you're going to be at.
And a lot of us, you're going to see probably more of us in a, 11, 12 personnel having a tight end wing with, Christian Cruz-Mahler and Josh Gibbons, who are two really good, strong athletes. We want to run the ball, but we also have athletes that we can spread it where our quarterback, can make some decisions of throwing quick outs. And, we want to control the clock. Last game of the year, I told all of our kids, why were we in the game with Mishawaka? We controlled the clock. We controlled the tempo. A turnover late and just, Mishawaka being Mishawaka found a way to win it.
Right.
So that – yeah.
I know you mentioned a couple of guys right there. I'll go to that. This Josh Gibbons and Christian Cruz Mahler. Better get them all in there. Benji loves Gibbons. He really thinks Gibbons is going to be a heck of a player.
He's a Rocky player through and through. If you could go back to, Ted Brown's a linebacker, a Caleb Koss, a Christian Weirs, a Chaz Scruggs, kids that are just going to – they bleed Rocky football. He is one that – he has worked his tail off to be as good as he is. And, he may not be the most vocal kid, but, he is going to bring it pound for pound every game.
Noticed some guys on your line, too, when I was able to get out for the scrimmage. You got some big boys out there.
We do. Tavion Warner, sophomore, left tackle. You got Ezekiel Sosa, who's a big senior. His brother.
He's fun.
He's a great
kid. Fun.
And what's great is he's got a freshman brother that right now is going to play center, and he looks just like him as a freshman.
That's got to make you feel good.
Xander Birchmeyer has made the transition from defense to offense, and Cam Joseph coming off an ACL injury last year, playing that right tackle. So, I mean, right now, our average line probably averages about 305 pounds. So. That's why we also want to run the ball. We got some size up there.
Yeah, that has something to do with it, I'm sure. How about defensively? What have you got going on that side? Anything different, or are you going to be the same?
Yeah, we'll be a 3-4. It'll more probably look like a 5-2. At the scrimmage, trying to play some soft coverage kind of hurt us, so we got to do a better job of mixing in cover 2, cover 3. If you look at it, I mean, really everyone on defense is pretty quick. We don't have a lot of big size, so kind of a worry too when we start getting to those hard notes of how physical can our kids get. But I think our speed can help us, especially with penetration. It's just not getting too far upfield and doing our keys.
Well, how physical you can get too. I mean, the NLC, there's no question you have got to be willing to strap it on and go after it.
Oh yeah, especially this year. I mean, adding Luke coming over to Northridge, Griff coming from a great Warsaw program to Goshen. Mark at Wawasee, he's been there for years. Yeah. He knows what to do. It is a week in, week out grind.
You have 7 schools, and the last time I counted, I should probably go back, 5 of those coaches are going to be Hall of Fame coaches.
Absolutely.
Out of the 7 schools, you got 5 Hall of Famers.
Here's
coaches.
Another thing. We're the only conference in the state of Indiana that all schools in our conference have been a state representative. So, I mean, not a lot of schools or conferences can really brag about
historic.
that.
It's historic.
It's a historic conference.
Doesn't matter what sport it is either, but football has really, in the last decade, that's become a real highlight in this conference. Is the football team.
Especially when you added Mishawaka, Take Memorial, it just added more into it of, another historic program coming in. And, the NLC's a grind, but like I tell everybody, it prepares you for the postseason play. Now, unfortunately, 4 of us are in the same sectional, so.
Well, talk about that a little bit. I mean, from a coaching perspective, your first coaching job, you're in you're in a horrible conference for a first-year coach. I mean, it is going to be a huge challenge.
It's going to be a grind, but one that I love because I love our NLC. A lot of people may be like, oh, but you finished 7th. You're right, but I would rather finish 7th in the NLC than 4th in another conference.
Right, yeah.
Being where we are, it's going to prepare you. And, again, I think, if you look historically at our sectional, we've had a lot of teams that make it to semi-state. It's a tough sectional, but our conference builds us on being tough and physical. And so there's a reason why, Warsaw was in state a couple of years ago. Concord made a run last year. Northwood made a run a couple of years ago. Ridge, 4 years. It is a historic conference that prepares you for that tough postseason play.
And quite honestly, as a former athlete and coach myself, you the same, athlete and coach, would you want it any other? I mean, we always wanted to. Was there a team that's better than us? Well, bring them in. Let's play them. I mean, that's all we ever thought about is who can we play that thinks they can beat us.
I mean, to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Exactly.
So, I mean, there's really no reason for me to why we'd want to switch because, it's week in, week out. You got to prepare because any given Friday, any team can win.
It can happen.
How do you feel about your off season, where you're at right now? I mean, you had a chance, luckily, to have a full off season. How do you feel about how far you've come to this point?
There's still days I feel like, God, we were so far behind. Just, I laughed. I was telling Andy, we just put in special teams Monday just because.
Oh, my God. Don't tell him that. He's Mr. Special Teams.
I mean, but when you have a, hey, May, new coach coming in, you want to focus back on,
right, yeah.
Hey, here are the fundamentals of our first couple offensive plays. We've had a really good week of practice. Kids have been very intense and, spot on of ready to go and compete. So, coming into Friday, I feel really good about where we're at as a team.
Well, man, well, thank you for joining.
I did have a question. You know,
Yeah.
you said you're a Plymouth guy. You said you want to restore, and obviously, it's not, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
You know, and you know that coming in, and maybe get the opportunity to be the head coach moving forward after this season. But when you say something like that, I look through the history on John Harrell. It's been since 2015 since Plymouth has hoisted a sectional championship.
Yep.
It's been since 2000, it said, since they've hosted a regional championship. So it takes time to make that happen. But what do you think the answer is? Because a lot of the coaches I talk to say it really starts at the youth level.
It does. You know, Trey Kaiser's ahead of our Rocky Youth League right now. I think he's, you know, that's again former Rocky and
player. Yep.
You know, we do
and a good one.
We make our kids right now. Each warm-up line is assigned a Rocky Youth League team, and you know I'm looking at coaches. And you got Chad Scruggs, Alex Quintana. I mean, we got a lot of former Rockies that are coaching our youth,
Which
so,
helps.
You know,
The
just
passion.
having them being around, they've known what Rocky football was, and to just bring it back, it starts with the youth, and then me doing a good job of being invested in that, making sure I go to practices, helping the coaches. Right now, our 5th and 6th grade team ask for our playbook because they want to call what we call. So being able to provide that for them and any questions they have. So, yeah, it does. It starts with your youth program and then moves into your junior high, which then helps your high school. But, you know, it's taking the time to invest into those younger kids from 2nd grade to 4th grade, really.
And a question for both of you, and I've asked you this before, but I kind of can't remember it. It's Rockies in the fall, and then the rest of the year is Pilgrims. So what's the story?
Four teams use the word Rockies.
So tell me the story on how that happens.
Okay, well,
So
I know what mine is.
What I've been told is that when football started at high school, I can't remember who the head coach was, but they didn't think Pilgrims was tough enough. So
well, that's kind of what
Rockies came apart,
Plymouth
and then
Rock.
My dad was part of those
say.
years. Art Thomas was the coach, and he
I
always called his team the Rocks. Well, there wasn't a nickname for the school at that time. They didn't have one.
Not even Pilgrims.
No, there was nothing. I mean, it was just
And
Plymouth.
when is this? What decade is this?
Oh, it was the 50s.
The 50s.
Yeah, 50s, maybe even late 40s, 50s. Up in
And
my
he would
dad
call them the
graduated in
Rocks.
58. He called his team his Rocks, the Rocks.
They're my
And
Rocks.
So in the paper, it became the Rockies. Well, when they finally
I
adapted
remember you saying
Pilgrims, he didn't particularly think he wanted to have his football team called Pilgrims, so they
with
just
the
stayed with the Rockies.
That is
And
so cool.
I think the soccer teams use
So
it.
both soccer teams and wrestling. So
Yeah,
football,
and that's
soccer, and wrestling are the only teams that are the Rockies. Everyone else is the Pilgrims.
Now, when I was in high school,
That's cool.
I was on the swim team in the winter, and we were the Piranhas
Oh,
that point. So figure that one out. At one point, there were 3 nicknames. But
Oh, my
yeah,
God.
that's the story I got told, was that he'd
Interesting.
always called them his Rocks, and they called them the Rockies in the paper, and so it just kind of stuck.
Which I
That is so
get.
cool.
I mean,
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's history.
Yeah.
yeah.
That is so cool.
No,
it's good
but-
to see you, Coach.
Thanks.
No other team has 2 nicknames.
They
The
know it.
only school.
And we're the only school to be
That is
Pilgrims
so-
or Rockies. So
That's so cool.
we hold our own history.
yeah. You guys are on a different level.
And we are definitely outsiders. So there you go. Anyway, thanks, man.
Hey,
Appreciate
thanks,
you
guys.
coming.
Appreciate it.
No, appreciate it. Good to see you. Well, you've got a big week. Thursday, you've got your first Thursday Night Lights show, correct?
This takes the place of that this week. Next
Okay.
week, we will be doing Thursday Night Lights. We'll talk with all these guys every week, and we'll do a 5-10, well, similar to what we did here. And we'll preview every game coming up that week. Obviously, Saturday Coaches Show, we start at 7. We go to 9. We'll talk to all these guys again this Saturday. We'll talk to them. Friday night, we've got Triton and LaVille. Other than that, just nothing going on.
And we will continue the Tony the Boss Ross Max 98.3 Athlete of the Week.
Absolutely.
I thought it went well last year with Ileana Grubbs
Yes.
from Bremen being named the Athlete of the Year. That plaque is being housed at our sponsor for the Athlete of the Year at Johnson Danielson Funeral Home. If you missed the post on sportstothemax.net on Facebook, it is hanging on the wall. So when you visit Johnson Danielson Funeral Home, make sure to swing by and see that plaque. It's very nice of Johnson Danielson to be part of the new tradition we're starting in the name of Tony Ross. So, but you'll be getting names, nominations from the area schools you cover, just like we do on WKVI. I think that's a cool thing we've done.
And then the Athlete of the Year, we should mention, thank you once again to Johnson Danielson. There's a scholarship that goes with that.
Scholarship
if you're named
goes with that
Athlete
as well.
of the Year.
Yes.
So, that gives them something at the end. If you are an Athlete of the Week and then we pick you as Athlete of the Year, there is a scholarship that goes with it.
And
so.
you are going live at 6:30 Eastern on Friday at
6:30.
Triton against LaVille.
Exactly.
So you're
exactly
set.
it.
We've set you up. We've set the table.
Except Joe, I got to find somebody to replace you, and that is
figure
going to
it
be difficult. We'll figure it out. But he'll be able to be back with me next week. But
Good.
Matter of fact,
I missed him this
I think he felt like he was going to be able to do it anyway Friday. But the doctor said, nah, you just had surgery. Probably don't want to be walking up and down bleachers with new stitches.
Yeah.
That might not be a good idea. So.
Well, and I always tell our listeners to feel free to flip back and forth on 98.3 FM and 99.3 FM to stay up to speed in your local area. Rusty will be on the air. I'll be on the air for WKVI. You can also flip back and forth on your phone. The link is in our bio on Facebook, sportstothemax.net. It also is on sportstothemax.net as well as Max 98.3 on their website as well.
Yeah.
Click sports and you can listen live there. Other than that, I think we've set the table. Thank you for letting me join you tonight.
No problem.
Filled in, and it was a lot of fun to talk with these coaches. They're all great guys.
They are. They absolutely are. Football's my favorite season of the year.
Had a chance to talk to Brent Corbett of Plymouth, also Justin Bogunia of Bremen, Matt Thacker of LaVille, Andy Barker of Triton, Austin Foust of Culver Community, and Andy Dorrel of Culver Academies. We thank the coaches for taking their time coming out. We also thank Yellow River Tap and Eatery for feeding us and also being nice, being a good friend for the community.
Absolutely. I got nothing else to say. We've said it all.
We've said it all. Well, we appreciate you joining us here for the season preview show on Max 98.3 FM. For Rusty Nixon, I'm Mitch Columby. Join Rusty this Friday at Triton, 6:30 Eastern's the pregame, 7 p.m. Eastern is the kickoff time. Until next time, you enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm Mitch Columby. The tradition continues.